What's up everybody? Onslog here, and today I bring you another first impressions. And this time, as you can see on the top, this side right there, it's freezing extensions. You probably already heard about this series, about its famous plot, as you can see. Anyway, this is the official game. This is the Japanese version. There is also a Korean version that's more far ahead, and it came out first in the Japanese version. So let's get this started. As you can see on the menu, everything about this game, literally everything you touch, it will jiggle. This is the main menu of the game. As you can see, there is a lot of buttons, but do not be afraid. When you start playing the game, the buttons will unlock according to your level, and it will also show you kinda what is the function of every button. So let's do a story quest so we can see some gameplay. As you can see, right now there are 10 episodes. Actually, the episode 10 was released probably less than a week or something like that. And you have 3 difficulties. Let's choose here one random quest. This is your resource, the hot dogs, which is kind of weird because you will always have over the limit. I don't know why. Okay, as you can see here, this is my setup. Now, how the game works is you have 3 attributes, which is the rock, paper, scissors system, and you have 4 classes. You have the striker, which his main role is to do high damage, not on the HP, but on the texture armor. The game has 2 bars. You have your HP bar and your texture armor. Of course, guess what happens when the texture armor breaks? The character gets naked. That's what you wished, right? But no, they just get on their underwear. Of course, it also has a gameplay purpose because your character will do less damage and also take more damage. You have your finisher, which is the opposite of the striker. The finisher does a lot of damage on the HP bar and low damage on the texture. What you want to do is do a lot of damage with your striker and then just finish it off with your finisher. Next, you have your decoys. The decoys can have various roles. They can be your tanks, they can be your healers, and also they can support your team. And for last, you have the all-rounders. The all-rounders have their own gimmicks because they can be really offensive or they can be really defensive. They are a mix-up of all of the 3 previous classes. With that explained, let's go to the gameplay. So here we are on the gameplay. You probably thought that it would be with like really huge characters just for the plot, but no, it's just like how it showed on the menu with the chibi characters. Every character has 2 skills and 2 passives. You can clearly if you keep pressing, you can see what everything does. For instance, here it does. The first skill does, let me recall it. It hits 5 targets, and the other one also hits 5 targets. If you just click it, you do the damage. Of course, you can also select the character, but like for most of the content, as all mobile games, you will be using auto feature because it is too easy. It's only the most difficult content it's not recommended to do auto feature. Also, one thing, like every time you select a character, it shows like the characters on your party that have type advantage. So now let's use the skill to see how the animations of the game are. Yeah, that's right. It's jiggles. Basically every time you do something, it jiggles. Now as you see, now we have 2 additional buttons, the burst and the freeze. So you have a talented skill tree system tied to your character's level. Every time you level up, you get a skill point and you can spend it. Or improve your burst, or improve your freezing. Your burst does more, it does damage to the entire party for every click you do. Like you have a time window where you click, more clicks, more damage. And you also have your freezing, which basically means your opponents are not gonna attack on the next turn. But of course, they also can be upgraded. In this case, burst does more damage, or the freezing has more chances to hit, or decrease the resistance of them. And they can also have even more effects, which in this case, burst can decrease their defensive and the freezing makes your party regenerate their HP. So let's finish this off. And on the last round, most fights consist in 3 rounds. Let's just clear everything, no targets, no whatsoever. Just let's clear this. Okay, we are gonna have another skill. Let's just use the skill just for to see the jiggles. And because most of the time, like, you will play this game because of the jiggles. And now, I don't know if you're noticing, this character right here lost his texture bar. And guess what happened? He is now under his underwear. Of course, male characters also have underwear, okay? Equality. It cannot only be female characters. So let's finish this round. This should be enough, if I'm not mistaken, and let's go to the boss. Thankfully, the boss is a female character, so if we are able to break her texture armor, she's gonna go to her undies. Let's attack her with everything, use all of the skills. As you can see, finishers don't do too much damage, but now if I attack with a striker, she is gonna lose a lot of the texture armor. As you can see, low damage on HP, high damage on the texture armor. And of course, your team has to be balanced. And oh, cool, there it is. Oh no, my character lost its texture armor. Look at that. Now it's with it. She has her undies now. But of course, it has a gameplay purpose, like I said. She will now do less damage and also take more damage. So it is really, really disadvantageous. So what we will do here, let's use a freezing. If we are lucky, we can stun her. There it is, she's stunned. Look at her. And unfortunately, we didn't get our HP buff, because there is a chance every time we use our freezing that we get a regeneration buff. In this case, it didn't work. So let's just put auto, because this is already on the bag. And hopefully we can see some texture break. And there it is, guys, the texture break. Look at that, she's on her undies. 100% 10 out of 10 gameplay right there. Oh no, another indie character. Oh boy. There it is, with the quest is done. Easy, not much big of a trouble. Gameplay, rather enjoyable, especially with the texture break armor mechanics of the game. So now let's show you the other modes that exist on the game. Here we are on the challenge mode menu, where it's all of the other modes of the game. Let's talk about every single one of them one by one. You have your Carnival PvP, which basically is like Danmachi PvP system, which basically you don't control your characters and it's on auto feature. You have your bonus mode, where you can get your daily coins. It gives you a lot of coins and also a lot of XP for your teams. Now, the strategy mode. If you're familiar with the series, you know that the Pandoras have stigmas on their back which increase their power. This mode right here is to farm those crystals to transform afterwards into stigmas, and then you can equip those stigmas into your Pandoras. But at the beginning, you will only have one slot available, and to unlock the remaining slots, you have to go through a dating system. That's right, the game has a dating system, which we will talk about it later. The next mode is the Abyss, which basically is your typical floor clearing survival mode. You don't regenerate HP and it resets daily. For last, you have your Nova Crest, which it says right, you think, oh, it has a multiplayer, but no, it's not. It's basically you have to make 2 squads of Pandoras and then just defeat huge giant Novas. The rewards mostly are gold or gems, but usually the gems are only one-time deal. With all the modes explained, let's talk about the dating system. The dating system actually has a huge impact on gameplay. As you can see here, some of the characters are already leveled, and they actually, every time you level them up, you actually get increased stats. You get percentage increased stats, and also it unlocks the additional stigma slots. You have a maximum of 6 stigma slots. As you can see, The jiggles are everywhere, in case you haven't noticed yet. So how does this dating sim works? Easy, but difficult at the same time. Because this is on Japanese, it's basically you have to answer her questions. And of course, we don't understand what she says. So basically, you have just to pick a random option. But of course, one thing is good is like you don't lose the levels, so you cannot get penalized. The only issue is you might take more time than usual just to level them up because you're not choosing the right answers. As you can see, while you're leveling, you will reach a point where you unlock actually quests, special quests for those characters that afterwards rewards you with unique weapons. So again, the dating sim has a huge impact on your gameplay. Okay, with the dating sim explained, let's go to the most important thing about the game, which is the gacha system. Okay, here's your gacha. As you can see, there is here a timer that allows you to do a free single every 3 days. And also, you can pull on another banner that gives you up to 3-star rarity using gold. But this gold banner is actually rather useful because it allows you to get some Pandoras that actually have a 4-star rarity and you can feed them. You can max feed them up to 10 times, which gives you a really big boost on your characters. There is a huge difference between a 0 character and a +1 character. Also, to make the things worse or better, the game also has a weapon system. It works like the Pandora system of getting new Pandoras. You also have a cooldown of 3 days to do a single. Now let's talk about one thing really important, is the rage. As you can see, the raids, you don't have to understand Japanese, the raids are really bad. They are horrible. 2% for a 5-star rarity Pandora. Now, the good thing is you have a pity system, which is here below, the mileage. Every time you pull, this increases. And when you reach the maximum, you allow to get a random 5-star Pandora guaranteed, plus a 5-star weapon box. Now, this was the normal banner. Your typical, the banner that's always there. If we go here, it shows you the new banners, and this is where it goes horrible. It goes horrible. I will explain. One single, 50 gems. 2 Pandoras, 100 gems. Nothing wrong. Now, 250 gems, only 3 characters. And you have a 1.5% chances of getting a 5-star. Now, if we go back, a single is 75. And a multi-summon, of course, it's 10 times that valor. But if we go back to here, a multi-summon, it's 1.1k gems. Of course, you have a 5 times more chances of getting a 5-star. But let's be honest, free-to-play players will not reach here really easily. Okay, with the gacha explained, now the moment of truth. Will this game ever be released on global? I don't think so. I don't think so. And the reason is, these kind of games that have a lot of fan service, let's be honest, they're not focused for the Western audience, it's more for the Japanese people. So because of it, I do not believe there will ever be a global or American release of the game. Now let's talk about all of the positives and all of the negatives of the game. Positives. The game is polished and it isn't a quick cash grabs like other mobile games that close like after 1 year. The game has a dating sim option that actually has gameplay impact and purpose. Your low star characters are actually useful for upgrading the rarity of your Pandoras and also feeding for the dupe system. And of course, the best positive is There is a lot of jiggles. Now, it cannot be all sunshine and rainbows. Let's talk about the negatives. The amount of paid currency you receive is rather low. You receive 40 from doing dailies, and you will take about 19 days to do one multi-sum. And not even talking about trying to do a full step-up banner. Your inventory size of Pandora's is rather limited at the beginning. You will be forced to expand your inventory using gems. And it's not only your Pandora's inventory. Your Stigma's inventory will suffer the same. The game is really grindy, even though there is an auto repeat feature. And of course, if you are not a fan of fan service, there is a lot of jiggles. So that's it for our first impressions of freezing extensions. Tell me down below what is your opinion of the game if you haven't tried it out. If you have tried the game, do you like it? Do you hate it? Like the video if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Keep jiggling. Bye bye.